Clap for yourselves. Our last panel is focused on the green economy. Ekasi, you and I both know that townships have long been active in green practices like recycling, especially pick it up on those days, pick it up. There's a lot of recycling that takes place. Sustainable energy solutions, urban farming, and eco-friendly manufacturing. The green economy offers township entrepreneurs new revenue streams, new opportunities, while creating environmental conscious communities that are resilient and sustainable. So our next panel, we've got experts, individuals and entrepreneurs who are in the green economy to come and share with us, you and I, the opportunities that are there and how we can create businesses that are eco-friendly and sustainable in the green economy. So our first panelist is Maluta from Nedbank. Maluta. Please can we put our hands together for Maluta. Netshaulu from Nedbank. Please come on stage, my brother. And then we've got Hleziphi Siyothula from Mtshizana. Hleziphi, please join us on stage, my sister. It's our last panel. Ororiseng from Helpers at Hand. Ororiseng, please come and join us on stage, my brother. Right, thank you so much, panelists, for joining us. Just to kick it off, I would like you to introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Why the green economy and not the purple one?
Yeah, or my hair color. I'm Maluta from Nedbank. I head up the green economy portfolio at Nedbank. Yeah, I'm quite passionate about this space. Originally, my previous role, I used to be a commercial banker. I'm an agricultural economist by profession. And over the past maybe 13, 14 years, I was in commercial banking. And just 2 years ago, I transitioned to the green economy on the development finance side of things. Because I felt, I'm tired of enriching the rich, who those are. And I wanted to use my expertise and my experience as well to really build capacity using the knowledge I have of the financial system, as well as to help entrepreneurs to be sustainable, to be resilient, and to be profitable so that they can go on and create wealth and then sustainable livelihoods in the community. Thanks.
Thank you. Hleziphi?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hleziphi Siyothula Mtshizana. I'm originally from Emlazi, at Durban. And so through and through, I think I understand what our people need in the township. Particularly, I've then gone on to use my skills as an electrical engineer, and for the past 7 years being an entrepreneur in the energy space to then be a catalyst for the development and deployment of sustainable energy solutions in the African continent. It is our passion to now take the message to the grassroots, which is the rural and the peri-urban communities, including townships. What we do is we offer 10 key solutions development, engineering, technology selection, and then pair that with services of tailoring alternative energy solutions for residential clients, for big business, and particularly for small business. We have been in the business for 7 years. In Pursuit Renewable Energy was founded in 2017, really out of a passion to use my lessons from corporate and using my skills and experiences, having worked in the REIPPP sector, to now craft solutions that are built by Africans for Africans at all levels of community. Now, what makes it special and why not the purple but the green is the fact that it's been proven worldwide through research that the green economy focused by any country has massive benefits. There's economic growth, then there's inclusivity of marginalized communities, and there's also a heightened economic development of those countries that now focus on building green economy ecosystems. And so we as In Pursuit are proud to be part of that, but most importantly, I think in the past 12 months, having worked with the IDC, having worked with Nedbank partners, we have, powered up of almost 50 entrepreneurs using solar, battery energy storage. And so for us, the green economy definitely has proven to be a platform where In Pursuit can now play a significant role in ensuring inclusive economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, before you answer, my brother, was it intentional for you to wear the color green?
Our branding identity
Okay.
includes green.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
We make it obvious what
Okay.
we are
Green
all about.
economy.
We
Sure.
don't want people to think, any other way. Yeah.
Okay,
Green intentionally so.
okay.
Also, she's also a beneficiary of some of our programs, so I think I think she can't help it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now it was just an ask. Just an ask. My brother?
Thank you so much, Spoo. Just to introduce myself, good day, everyone. My name is Ororiseng Mongke, and I'm the Managing Director of Helpers at Hand. Who are we? So Helpers at Hand offers specialized cleaning and waste management services to commercial, residential, as well as industrial customers. And over the years, we have been a key role-playing company within the green economy. And it is for that reason why we're here. And Fulton, in his previous presentation, when he spoke about that in Township, when others see rubble, when other people see rubble, they see rubbish, while for others, it's actually an opportunity. And I thought he's speaking to me because what we do is that we're recycling rubble back into building bricks as well as instant cement. And you asked the question, why the green economy? We are in a revolution, Spoo, and our revolution is to preserve human life as well as Mother Earth. And what green economy attempts to do is to make sure that we improve the quality of living for people and ultimately also preserving the earth. And the green economy has been perceived to has a potential between 2020 and 2030 to create around 60 million jobs for people. And I believe the time is now more than any time, the time is now for us to actually take advantage of that market to alleviate the standard of living among our people, particularly the black marginalized people. And like my sister has just alluded, that green economy also has economic benefits outside of environmental benefits.
Fantastic. Yeah, we can give them a round of applause. I want to get to, you are in the township, right? And you've got other colleagues that are in the township that are in the green economy. And you've got other businesses as well that are trying to adopt green practice. What are some of the challenges that you see, you experience entrepreneurs in the township facing when trying to adopt these green practices? I'll start with you, Mongke.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not an entrepreneur, so I'm in what they call an investor, right? So we've invested over 150 million over the past 3 years.
Sure.
Like into entrepreneurs, but obviously through partners. So the challenges that entrepreneurs face is quite a lot. There's a multitude, but we can drill it down to a few things. Obviously, finance is one thing, but then there's also external risks like climate change, social risk, like with the looting. There's also risks around, succession. There was a gentleman that spoke about, I think there was the lady from IDF. So you must, you must plan with an exit in mind.
Sure.
So there's those things. But when we come back to the green economy, I think for me it's about how do you safeguard your business and position it for success. Something as simple as water, right? Water is a big thing, especially in Gauteng. Like Day Zero, there's talks about that. But if you're running a salon or you're running a car wash and all those things, and suddenly there's no water, how are you going to survive?
Sure.
You need water, otherwise people, if you don't have like a strategy, you haven't done something about it, install maybe tanks or something like that to help you, continue producing or servicing your clients when there's no water, then you're going to have a problem. Or if you're running an ice cream shop or anything that requires electricity in general, and there's load shedding. I mean, in the townships, we don't even talk about load shedding, there's load reduction. My friend and myself wanted to buy a plate, we were hungry, so we wanted to, so he was like sending a WhatsApp to this guy, and then he said, hey, can we come through? And this guy, hey, bro, I don't have electricity for the past 3 days. Here in Tembisa.
Sure. For
the past 3 days. This guy is running a business, food business, and he cannot run his business because he doesn't have electricity. Imagine the lost income, the lost clientele. So all of a sudden we had to go somewhere else, but we could have gone there. So there's those things that you as small businesses, we might take for granted, but there's opportunities to make your business resilient from those things. If like in the residential space, with the whole thing around load shedding, we saw a lot of people that can afford, solar. Like I've got solar at home, but it was more of a convenience perspective. I mean, if there's no electricity at home, no one's going to die, right? Unless if you've got a condition that requires you to have electricity. But for a business, they live and thrive or die by that. They can, like literally. So it's important that when you think about your business, you don't just think about, I must do, yes, they're putting things like learning about financials and market and all this, but there's also things that if you don't plan for them and adopt them, like for example, some of the things is about opportunities. If you're running, like the guy that was here he says he's an agripreneur, he's making sauces and all those things. He could just do that and it could be fine, but there could be opportunities if he's going to be peeling potatoes and carrots and whatever, or offcuts of different vegetables like spinach or whatever. There's an opportunity there for biogas, there's an opportunity there for composting and whatever, and then he can sell that and it becomes an additional revenue stream to his business.
Talking about opportunities, while we're on opportunities, entrepreneurs are here sitting, watching. There's some who are watching online. What opportunities are there for entrepreneurs in the green economy?
Oh man, there's quite a lot.
Looking at where we are and the future trends, to get them thinking, the opportunities
there's
that you have
opportunities.
for
Like
them as well.
if you look at food, it's about a quarter of the population is food insecure. So that's on nutrition, right? And then if you look at, from a transformation perspective, almost 80-90% of the food that we eat comes from 10% of farmers, that's commercial farmers. So we're talking from a food security perspective, and then we're talking about from a transformation perspective. Those are both opportunities. Whichever way you look at it.
Sure.
So it's about how do we help solve these gaps. Gap for food security, means that we need to fund a lot of smallholder farmers, emerging farmers, so they can be able to learn the skills to farm productively, efficiently, have the technologies that are required for them to be able to have quality tomatoes and onions, like the guy that was here, that you can then go to this guy and then he can take them on and then he can be able, or we can sell to the market or whatever. The other thing is about 11% of the economy of people in South Africa don't have access to electricity. Those are the stats, right? So that is an opportunity that one can then look at it in terms of, if you want to go into this space, what can you do as a business or someone from the outside as an opportunity for you to come in to close the gap? 8 million people don't have access to clean drinking water. That's a real life statistics in South Africa. Hammanskraal, we had an issue, it continues to be an issue, that people are dying because they are drinking contaminated water, et cetera, et cetera. And then on the waste side of things, only 10% of the waste that is generated, about 122 million tons of waste that we generate in the country, only 10% is recycled. So the rest 90% ends up in landfills, it ends up getting burned. Our people like to burn waste, right? At the back of the yard, whatever. But that is opportunities that you can use. PET, this thing, you can make a lot of things. Or if you don't want to make it, you can just, collect it and give to someone. You get money. I don't know how much it is. Or you can use it to make flint. If you got the machinery to do that, and then you can make garments. Then it replaces cotton and all those things. So there's opportunities, my brother. It's just that we need to be open-minded, we need to read about it, and then we need to seize those opportunities. We fund. I like at Nedbank, my job is to look for those opportunities, to look for the partners, so we can invest in those opportunities, because there's a ton of value in this space.
Sure. 150 million in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Incredible. Hleziphi, your side?
So what we see as challenges for entrepreneurs, I think with all the speakers today, everyone is agreeing that energy solutions, in fact, energy is one of the pillars of the green economy, is one that is critical because it runs across all sectors. So you can't run a recycling machine without energy.
Sure.
Right? You can't, automatically agro-process without energy. You can't pump water without energy, purify water without energy. And so we really take that serious as a player, as an energy player in the green economy. And what we've seen is that what businesses are struggling with when we speak to them about alternative energy solutions, first thing is there are myths about sustainable energy solutions. The first thing is they are expensive. Okay, that's one. And number two is they are not sustainable, meaning they will never match in the performance of coal-generated energy. So that's another one. And then thirdly, it's just the fear around, now having to interact with energy generation machinery. Remember, we are used to power stations being in Mpumalanga, and all of a sudden, you've got an inverter sitting in your garage, you've got a battery sitting in your garage, and you're thinking, my God, what if this thing catches fire? So there are then things that we as In Pursuit have identified, not only just to offer, tailored solutions, but to first educate small businesses. By the way, around 80% of our business portfolio currently is made up of small businesses, across townships and rural. So we understand that. And what is going to be important in order for people to really benefit from, the green economy ecosystem? We will not be able to get around this one. Everyone must empower themselves with the knowledge around, waste management, water management, and energy management. Because what ends up happening, for example, in our industry, as the sustainable energy solutions providers, this is when businesses get sold over specified systems, which then turn out to be more expensive. Once in the past 2 months, as we're deploying these 40 systems across small businesses only, once we started sitting down with small business and really asking them simple questions like, what is the one machine in this business that you can't do without? Which lights in your business can you do without? And then we only found that actually the solution only needed to be catered to about 50% of the load. And 50% of the load, when you then look at the cost, it becomes much more affordable and less scary. And then what we then found, because obviously small businesses need financial help, when they take those numbers to their sponsors, the sponsors are like, how? you know, this is something that we can do.
Sure.
Which is why then the IDC currently rolling out the IDC Township Energy Fund. I think they're going to be empowering over 500 businesses across South Africa, for which we will be responsible as in pursuit to deploy about 98 of them. Because we have used our experience in the past, I think 7 years, as a solutions provider in this industry to understand that it starts with the education, getting the businesses to a comfortable position, and also getting the sponsors to a comfortable position and educating them around how one can make the deployment of such solutions for small businesses, you know, affordable and be more tangible now as solutions to small business.
Thank you. Your thoughts, Ororiseng?
Thank you, Sbu. I think one of the most challenge that township innovators within the green economy face is access to information.
Sure.
So many innovators within the green economy from the township that we come in from are sitting with ideas that could take Africa to greatest heights. But because of lacking of information in terms of where to go from here, they are unable to actually get to that level in terms of their competence. And I think I'm also reminded of one of the initiatives that Nedbank is also a part of, the green bond, which its current listing on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange stands at 1.7 billion rand, which is a bond that is set aside for township innovators to help them scale their ideas, to help them scale their innovation, right? But because of lack of such information, that's one challenge that majority of township innovators within the green economy are faced with. But also having to talk on the opportunities that you spoke about within the green economy, there are, quite a number of opportunities. I mean, outside of environmental opportunities, which preserves the human life and preserves the life of animals and Mother Earth. I mean, I spoke of it, the social side of it, the social benefits to it is that the green economy has that potential to create around 60 million jobs, right? Which will help people to make means and living out of that. That's the economic side of it. But also these rubbles that we find, I mean dumping sites that we find in our townships, they are a threat to human life. When on the news just recently, the poison that was found that has been killing people, particularly the children in Soweto. It was said that one of them, it's a rat poison. And these rats come from these dumping sites that we find in residential areas. They make themselves into our households, into these labs that are run in the backyards, you know. So in getting to address this problem, ultimately we'll be able to solve the challenge that we are faced with that poses a threat to human life.
Thank you. So, one of the pillars of the summit is information, access to information. And I would like the panel to share with our audience, those who are here and those who are online, where did you go to get the information that you got to take your business to the next level? What websites, what books, what platforms, what forums, because we want to make sure that people leave here practically knowing what to do. Because we said information, but where do we go? Where did you go?
Thank you. So I was fortunate that my life's passion is energy generation, science, and engineering. So I was fortunate at least to have that base knowledge. But when I made the transition to become a renewable energy specialist, no one in the country had those skills, which is why the first 2 rounds of our big renewable energy project were actually owned and run by international consultants as well as independent power producers. However, what I then did, I became, confident and approached my boss and said, listen, I think I want to transition because I think this is a new industry. And that's how I then went into the industry. What I would then suggest that people do in order to find out more information, it is to attend seminars like this because experts like us can basically give you a summary of what the whole industry is all about and give you the value chain and the supply chain. So that's one. And then secondly, associate yourself, especially if you're a business. I'm a product of phenomenal incubation programs, of which, in fact, the key one was funded by Nedbank, which is the Fetula incubation program. And so my business basically grew tenfold as a business, to then become the size of a business where we've deployed over 70 sites across 4 provinces in South Africa, 10 key solutions for small business and for households. And then lastly, find yourself a mentor. And a mentor is someone who can really, also show you places where you can go to find out information about, the kind of specialized industries as well. And then lastly, read. TikTok is not enough. A 15-second video is not enough to tell you about the green economy value chain. So you're gonna have to, suck it in, spend time, and read articles from the beginning to the end. And I think it is what it is. And then lastly, young people have to take subjects in science and technology. The green economy is science, the green economy is technology. And so, as in Pursuit, we are very pro-STEM careers. Because there is just no way around it, And so I think the work that we're going to be doing, I think in the next phase is to, come to Tembisa and speak to, high school students from grade 8, because by grade 12 it's too late. They've already chosen their subjects. And if we are, as Black people, going to play a significant role in this rapidly growing and multi-billion industry, we have to capture the next generation very young and encourage them to take up careers where they'll be at the core of this industry.
Thank you very much. Maluta?
I think he must go first. I will repeat nicely.
All right. No, thank you, my brother. You're asking a very important question, Sbu, and I think my sister has touched on basically the majority of it. I personally come from the social sciences background. And when I came into this, I had no idea about what the green economy is, about the built environment as well, because what we're doing, the production of bricks and instant cement falls under the built environment, which is engineering, And coming from a social sciences background, it had to start first with me to acknowledge that I don't know better and I want to learn.
Sure.
So in order for you to get to that position of getting to know, you first need to acknowledge as an individual that you don't know better and expose yourself to learning.
Sure.
And I think my sister, like I've said, she has touched on it. First, you expose yourself to such settings. You attend conversation, you become part of conversations. Ever since we came into the industry, with one of the settings that we've been exposing ourselves to is the Big 5 construction in Southern Africa that happens every year at Galaga here in Midrand, because we want to know and we want to grow. And at the same time, you learn. The mistake that we almost made when we came up with this innovation was to take it to consumers before it was tested.
Sure.
And had we done that, probably today would be in trouble because you'd hear somewhere in Katlehong a house fell because the brick that was used to build did not meet the standards, But having to read around that, the standards, the minimum standards that a brick has to meet, compliance that my brother was speaking about earlier today, to say the importance of compliance in as much as we're complaining, but it also protects us at the same time, But yeah, I think it's that exposing ourselves to settings and conversations, as well as reading and finding time to read, also mentorship. mentorship is also very important to bring someone with experience and knowledge that is far beyond what you know, to hold your hand and make you walk the journey and guide you where you're doing wrong and when you're doing right, so that you can ultimately reach the ceiling to where we want to see ourselves. But unfortunately, I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, we are too hungry as township innovators, and we instantly want to become billionaires. And that's one of the mistakes that we do, that when we come with an innovation, we quickly want it to go to the market, to consumers, so that we can start generating incomes. Like my brother over there asked the question to say, when you come from such townships, you are told that you're not good enough, you won't make it, so you want to prove a point. And as a result, we find ourselves skipping these important steps that we should be following for us to ultimately get there. So reading, mentorship, and exposing ourselves to conversations.
Powerful.
Yeah,
Maluta?
I think what I've realized, especially with township entrepreneurs, that when they hear climate finance, green finance, or the green economy, automatically they exclude themselves. Business ecocasi, so what does that have to do with me? Without realizing that when you talk green, it's a mindset, right? An intention to change. You want to change from what you were doing to something that's going to save the planet, that's going to save your business, that's also going to be, socially inclusive. The green economy is very inclusive. I mean, I can't think of any business. It can even be a funeral parlor, my brother. That it can be a green enterprise as well. It's about, in terms of systems and processes, it's about the adoption of technology and innovation. They need a lot of energy, right? You can use solar or like energy efficient, like lights and all that stuff, water, all those things you can put, things that are going to help for the business to keep having water, to use less water, et cetera, et cetera. So in business, like fashion, there's a lot of waste in the fashion space, fast fashion, things that's going on. But there's businesses, and these are things that we currently fund, that are sort of, they will intercept the waste from the likes of Choreographed and At Home and these big brands like the Woolworths and all those things, the off-cuts or things that haven't been used, like the fabrics, and they will go and make other stuff, high-value stuff. That's what happening. Construction is already talking about it, repurposing of buildings. You can do that. That then helps, because the built environment industry is very high in carbon in terms of footprint. But there's a lot that can be done outside of design, of green buildings and all that stuff, so that you can help the sector to use less virgin materials, to repurpose, all these buildings, so that, you can help the environment and also help yourself as well from a cost perspective. You can look at things in last mile delivery, the guys that were here talking about transport.
Sure.
There's a huge movement now around how do you electrify that, because it's very much fossil fuel based. They're using a lot of diesel and all that. But now there's things that are happening in terms of electric vehicles, there's things that are happening around electric scooters, things that deliver in terms of Uber Eats and all that stuff. So it's about that. But I think for us, because we are ecosystem builders and we are funders, so we see a lot of things that are happening. We fund a lot of these incubators and accelerators. So we know what's going on in terms of the type of support. Like we do a lot of at least from idea stage, we fund that and then take the guys through the whole design thinking process, from ideation to prototyping to all these things, until they've refined their business models, and then we then fund them as and when they need the funding. Could start as small as 50,000 Rand, and as they grow,
Sure.
and we've got different funds we've done with Siyothula, where we can invest about 250 up to 250,000 Rand into a business like cash for them to do what they need to grow. And then we also have quite recently the Nedbank Indalo Fund with Indalo Inclusive. That is a loan, concessionary loan, goes up to 500,000 Rand, repayable over 3 years, and then that if you outperform your KPIs, then you can sort of we can convert a portion of it, 25% of it into a loan. So there's a lot of funding that goes into entrepreneurs, but they need to go. But the trick with such things that even though money is free, what we need, you pay us back through impact, and the way we're gonna know that your business is impactful is when you report, you know, when you comply, and when you report, oh, how is the business doing? How many people have you employed? How many tonnages of waste have you recycled? You know, how much water have you saved this month? You know, you need to be able to do that. Then we are able to report, and then by so doing, then we can get more money to then pump into these businesses.
Thank you. Lastly, just your 1 minute words of encouragement to entrepreneurs who are in the green economy. Why do you like passing the mic, my man?
Ladies first, ladies first.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother. Just a minute, words of encouragement to entrepreneurs in the green economy. You can shoot.
Like I've said, the most important thing that entrepreneurs within the green economy need to familiarize themselves with is information that is involved within the economy. And innovation is a very lonely job, and majority of the times people will tell you that you are not good enough. And even when they don't tell you others, you will feel like you're not good enough. I don't know how many times I felt like I'm not good enough, Spu, because I had written letters and emails to too many departments to no response. And at one point I felt like there's no point, let me just, sure. And only then it came to register to my mind that the problem was not what I was selling to them, but the ears that it went to. And it's unfortunate that majority of the times we write to people who don't even know what we're talking about. They have no knowledge about the green economy. They don't know what you're talking about. So the minute that person gets a letter on their desk, they don't even know where to start to help you. And as a result, they ignore. So that's the advice that I want to give to township innovators out there, to say keep pushing until eventually you find the right door that will open for you. It's part of the process that we go around knocking, but we're knocking on the wrong doors. The right door will come to open. Just keep pushing.
I think I'm going to build on that, also based on what we learned this morning about what investors are looking for. It is very important to engage investors and collaboration partners that are aligned with your vision and your objectives, because the falling of the message on deaf ears, it's one of the detrimental, I think, impacts of why entrepreneurs are demotivated. So it then goes back to the work of saying you need to do research to who you are sending the message to, whether it's for a platform to sell your idea or a platform to fund your idea. It is important. You would rather spend 3 weeks researching who you want to send the message to, and then only spend then 1 week to then go and get an opportunity to send the message or the request. That I also agree with my brother. And then the other one is you have to find spaces and tribes that speak your language and also have the same energy as you. So our success at In Pursuit, we definitely attribute it to having found the right sponsor, like Nedbank. I mean, when we said we're doing renewable energy, they're like, okay, that's the energy legs, come through, And then when we found the incubator, which was funded by Nedbank, the incubator just knew where to place us. And when we then got to the incubator, we found the very same energy. And I cannot stress how that is important. I spent about 18 months in that incubator, and I can tell you now, my business has never been the same. and my life has never been the same. Just because in 18 months, I incubated myself with the right sponsors, the right, guiding, and also the right people who were other entrepreneurs that were really, vision-based people and purpose-based people.
Sure.
Yeah, I think for us, we're also quite passionate. Like I know even with her, I think she's in the solar business or renewable energy. I don't want to, yeah, let's keep it there. What we do, we go above and beyond. So I'm trying to say to the entrepreneurs, yes, you might be desperate for funding, but sometimes you need to, in that desperation, find the right partner, right? That's going to have a long-term view. Yes, you've got a need now, but they need to be able to stay with you as you are through your SME journey, from, the stages. So what we did even for her, I mean, in the solar space there's high barriers of entry, there's things around social capital, which she has done. But what we did through our NetBank Evo, we've got a solar unit there. We introduced her so she can source the stuff herself instead of relying on some guy, and then she gets, hammered on the margins. Now she can go to NetBank, get these discounted rates, and now she's a big player. She's calling the shots. She's able to aggregate, So that's what we do. We make sure that the guys we back, we're going to back them for the long haul. We're going to give them the funding that they need when they need it. We're going to also obviously give them the capacity they require from a skills perspective, and then also we back it up with the funding as well. So we're quite serious about this space. We see a lot of opportunities in the township economy, and I'm hoping and praying that over the next year, then we can then do something with TA, specific program or workshops that are just green economy or circular economy related, that will then start to help the entrepreneurs in this space to understand first, and then to adopt, and then we can start seeing the outcomes and the impact. Thank you.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for our panel. Kobaraba Shapeleng Matsoho, Maluta from Nedbank, Hleziphi, Mtshizana, and Ororiseng. Thank you so much. Did you enjoy? Were there some takeaways? Should they come back again? Must they? Hey, time. Hey, time. Yeah, time. Thank you. Go Baraba Shapeleng Matso one more time. Really appreciate it. Please, can we get a photo? Is there something wrong? Yeah. Find your tribe. You've got a question. Please, can you ask the question? We've got 2 minutes to wrap up. There's a question for you. I think she's still around, and she will answer the question. We've come to the end of day one of the summit. As I said earlier on, there's a question. Okay, they said we must. Whoa. You're working for an advisory firm and you are asking for advice. Okay, no, I'm joking. Where's the mic? Can we get her the mic? Get a mic. Let's get you the mic. There's a question for you, please. Yeah, I'm going. Past 4, entrepreneurs still in the room. Hungry. My
name is Kutsone, and I think we met outside and we had a chat a bit. I'm a finance intern, and in the finance sector, every second counts. the importance of having an uninterrupted power supply is very significant. So I wanted to ask you, what challenges or risk have your clients that you've serviced, or maybe your projects rather, have you encountered in renewable energy, and how did you address them or resolve them, so that we know that when we approach you, we are approaching a reliable source, or in that sense?
Sure. Yo, that's a deep question for after 4. We must level it down. Eh? Very powerful question. Over to you.
Yeah, no, thank you for your question. I know we had a long chat outside around the industry. So I've been in the industry for 18 years, and particularly spent around 12 years, since 2012, in the renewable energy space. And so you can be assured that you're talking to a seasoned professional. That's number one. Number two is, we are not a solar company, so we understand alternative energy from an all-round perspective. And so when we go into solving energy challenges for business, we look at it holistically. And I always do advise our clients to always look at it in the long term. What we've seen is that clients always say, the technology is expensive right now. But then we then go ahead, because there are, learned clients like yourselves, where you can sit someone down and take them through, for example, the cost saving and the payback period assessment. So we will show you how much you'll be spending on your system. We will then show you how much you are currently paying. We'll then show you in the long term how much you'll be saving from energy generated from solar. Now, on top of that, there's even another dimension, because we will show you the value of the impact that you were able to escape by not being offline when there's infrastructure outages. We take that value, and when we add it to your savings, it definitely gives us an obvious answer that small business and big business, they definitely need to adopt, alternative energy solutions. We are not solving for load shedding. We are solving for the impact of outages of power. In addition to that, we are trying to insulate energy users from extremely increasing energy costs. For example, right now, Eskom is asking NESA for between 35 to 40%. And we know as in Pursuit what that means when energy costs in a business as an expense can increase by 40%. It can take you out within 1 year. So we are an all-rounder. We've worked in big business, we've worked with small business as well. We craft the solutions from a big aspect. We craft the solutions not only from those who do formal business, but for those as well who do informal business. I can assure you, we are a partner that is well tested. We didn't start when load shedding started. We've been in business for almost 10 years now, and so you can be assured that we will slice your challenges in all directions to ensure that the solution that we give you is all round and it's long term.
I'm feeling in my spirit a business transaction has just taken place. Either way she sold that business, trust us, we are seasoned.